As I learn, I'm reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. Excellent read and something I've been going through for a little bit now, slowly progressing through it. I made my way through the third law, make it easy, or the reverse side of that would be make it difficult. I'll just quickly read the points here and then recap the actual this section and the few chapters that I've gone through. Reduce friction, decrease the number of steps between you and your good habits. Second, prime the environment. Prepare your environment to make future actions easier. Third, master the decisive moment. Optimize the small choices that deliver outsized impact. Fourth, use the 2 minute rule. Downscale your habits until they can be done in 2 minutes or less. Number five, automate your habits. Invest in technology and one time purchases that lock in future behavior. All right. Number one was reduce friction. So I think that for some is a little self explanatory, but I mean, I needed to recap on this. Reduce friction basically means make it easy on yourself. Sometimes the easy thing, like the easy step in this book, I find I look at what I'm doing and I'm like, man, the steps should be easy enough for me to do. Like, make it easy. I'm not even doing that. So it's like, how do you make it easy on yourself? Well, going to the gym. Well, maybe if you, well, some people wear their gym clothes to bed. I don't do that. But maybe if you had your gym clothes out, set out, instead of digging through the drawer in the morning, you make it easier on yourself. You take them out, you put them right there. You make sure your shoes are ready because the second you start looking for your shoes, I'm a neurodivergent person. The second I start looking for my shoes, I'm thinking about three other things and move on past having to go to the gym. By the time I get back to wanting to go to the gym, it's an hour into my day or an hour uh, past that point that I was thinking of going to the gym. And I've already got three other things or four other things on the go. My three kids need me for each an individual separate task. My wife needs me for something else, and I'm, too busy to get to it. So like, go to the gym in the morning. Make it easy on yourself. Decrease the number of steps between you and your good habits because the fewer steps, the easier it's going to be. Um, Going to the gym, well, why don't you start going for a walk? Decrease those steps. Even like if you can't keep consistent with the gym, keep consistent with the 5 minute walk. Prime the environment. Prepare your environment to make future actions easier. Basically, setting up your environment to work for the habit you want to have. If you're eating unhealthy and all you can find is unhealthy food in your fridge, well, you obviously haven't primed your environment. And it just takes that task where you're at the grocery store and you say, no, I'm not going to buy the sugary cereal. No, I'm not going to buy the extra bag of chips, because when it's there, you've made it easier on yourself to have a bad habit. I know I buy an extra bag of chips sometimes because I want to make it easier on myself to keep my kids not, going and being unruly because chips compared to other sugary treats out, it's easier to be like, hey, we got chips at home. Bring them home, give them a thing of chips, a bowl of chips is, simpler on me in the end. Or they come for snack time. I don't need to search for for other things. So yeah, I guess the chips, depending on how you look at it, could be the easier and better of the options. But if you're trying to eat healthy, obviously trying to cut out those things that you shouldn't have from the get go at the grocery store instead of trying to eat healthy when they're at home. Master the decisive moment. Optimize the small choices that deliver outsized impact. Why don't I go back on these? Because I feel like even though I've read the stuff and I should know it all, some of it is probably better if you read it yourself. But also good if I also go back to where it mentions some of it. Let's see if I can. So, master the decisive moment. Of least effort. Achieve more with less. Prime the environment for future use. How to stop procrastinating by using the 2-minute rule. So master the decisive moment. Optimize the small choices that deliver outsized impact. Oh, I think that's here. So basically, decisive moment. Great. It has, let me see if I can get that nice and close for you. Has a basic outline, shows the decisive moment. Well, good choice. You have the option. Good choice, bad choice. So if you're going to make a good choice, it's easier then to make it another good choice. If you're going to brush your teeth in the morning, it's easier then to, I stick my floss thing right on the end of my toothbrush. I got to take it off every time. It's easier then when it's there in my hand to floss my teeth than to have to find it and then floss, or to unstring the floss and then floss. I just need to take it's probably not the best flossing method, at least my hygienist told me, to use the little stick and string method, but it's easy. And sometimes easy works for me. And then when I'm there brushing my teeth, I'll do my water floss, I'll do my tongue brush, I'll go through the steps of taking care of myself, because it's become one routine and it's easy and readily available. So decisive moments, taking advantage of those moments, because throughout the day you're going to have good choices and bad choices, healthy choices and not healthy choices. You could take the fast way or you could take the slower way, and sometimes I argue that the slower way is actually the better way. You can read my Substack post for that. I talk on, at least wrote or composed a post on how it's better to go slower in life for some things, like walk to the library instead of drive there. Yes, I know I'm a parent and have a busy schedule, but it's sometimes healthier and better for you to do the slower option. Like the 2-minute rule, basically, I would say this one's a game changer because it's the easiest thing you could do. You want to read a book? Start with 2 minutes. You want to do yoga for half an hour? Start with 2 minutes. Studying for a class. I know it's going to take hours. My wife's going through and finishing her psych degree. She's in exam today, and it takes time to get through it. Start with 2 minutes. Why? Because that process of us wanting to do it and then going and actually doing it, there's a big gap there. But if we start with something small and manageable, we'll be able to get there a lot quicker. And if you can get there quicker now, you can be able to use those small wins to help you get to the big goal. So here, I'll show you an example that's in the book. So, gave a bit of a graph. I don't know how well you can see that, probably not that well, but let me focus in on that section. Anyways, you're probably not going to be able to read it that quickly, but very easy. Let's see as an example. It's very hard. This is for running. Put on your running shoes. Very easy. Walk 10 minutes. Easy. Walk 10 1,000 steps, moderate. Run a 5K, hard. Run a marathon, very hard. Write one sentence. Here, writing, write one sentence, very easy. Write one paragraph, easy. Write 1,000 words, moderate. Write a 5,000 word article, hard. Write a book, very hard. Mention I have thought of writing a book, and I think I might take this lesson here because honestly, I'd love to write one. I think I have an idea for that. Um, um, yeah, so going back to this, open your notes. Very easy. Study for 10 minutes, easy. Study for 3 hours, moderate. Get straight A's, hard. Earn a PhD, very hard. I mean, sometimes sounds easier than we think it is, but sometimes it's just as easy as we say it is. So 2 minutes. Can you just block in 2 minutes into your schedule? Block in 2 minutes into the beginning of your day. You have, let's say, 10 minutes in your day. You can accomplish the 5 things, or at least take small bites of the 5 things that you'd want to accomplish. Like, you want to run a marathon? Start with 2 minutes. You want to write that book? Start with 2 minutes. You want to do yoga? You want to become a yoga trainer? Start with 2 minutes. 2 minutes is all it takes to be able to consistently create a healthy habit that will get you there. And it's about consistency in the beginning. It's not about taking big steps, because those big steps are tiring and they're exhausting, and you'll just feel that you don't want to take that next big step. Examples of habit shaping. All right, habit phase 1, becoming an early riser. Be home by 10 p.m. every night. Phase 2, have all devices, TV, phone, etc., turned off by 10 p.m. every night. Phase 3, be in bed by 10 p.m. every night, reading a book, talking with your partner. Phase 4, lights off by 10 p.m. every night. Phase 5, wake up at 6 a.m. every day. If you're like me and you're getting older and you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. anyways, if not earlier, might as well go through the beginning parts of this, because at least then you get enough sleep. Becoming a vegan. Start eating vegetables at each meal. Still trying to teach my kids this. Stop eating animals with 4 legs, cow, pig, lamb, etc. Stop eating animals with 2 legs, chicken, turkey, etc. Stop eating animals with no legs, fish, clams, scallops, etc. Stop eating all animal products, eggs, milk, cheese. I think we can all do this. I'm not, I guess I haven't dug too far into the studies of eating as a vegan, and a lot more people could speak to this as, this is not that type of book. So, but I think we could all do these phases. Starting to exercise. Change into workout clothes. You don't even need to go work out. Change into your workout clothes. Do it in the morning. Do it during the day. At least then you can check it off. You could do 2 push-ups and be like, I did my physical fitness for the day, or I did my physical fitness for the morning, Step out the door. Try taking a walk. Take a 5-minute walk, 10-minute walk, build up from there. Drive to the gym, exercise for 5 minutes and leave. Exercise for 15 minutes at least once per week. Exercise 3 times per week. These are just phases. And I think we can all go through these, and then you can build on that if you need. You want to eat healthier? Great. You want to wake up earlier? Great. You want to become fitter? Great. Just build in the phases. Start with the easiest one first, though, because I think that's where we get all caught up. How to make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. Oh, man. How to automate a habit and never think about it again. I highly suggest reading this book. Not just reading it. I highly suggest utilizing this book. One-time actions that lock in good habits. Oh, there's a few. Like honestly, I could take a few out of here myself. Like nutrition, buy a water filter to clean your. We have awesome filtered water here, through the fridge, but buy a water filter if you need. Use smaller plates to reduce caloric intake. Happiness, get a dog. Move to a friendly social neighborhood. Sleep, buy a good mattress. General health, get vaccinated. Buy a supportive chair or standing desk. Oh, and the vaccination part, I don't need to say that. I agree with vaccination. It's all personal. For the sake here, I'm not arguing with anyone. Buy good shoes to avoid back pain. Productivity. Unsubscribe from emails. Finance. Enroll in automatic savings plans. Like, and you're like, oh, these are all easy, but it'd be surprising how many people don't do the easy thing. Me included. So going back again, make it easy. That's third rule. Or make it difficult as the inversion of the third rule. How to get rid of those habits you don't want. Going forward, I'm reading the Make It Satisfying. And the inversion, Make It Unsatisfying. So basically, how to deal with those healthy and unhealthy habits. I'll get back to this later. Thank you so much for joining me as I talk about Atomic Habits. It's a great book. I highly suggest it. I'm continuing my journey on this reading path. I got another 100 pages to go. And I'm looking forward to the rest of it. I hope that you guys can pick up this book. I'm reading it the second time now. First time about 2 years ago, but it's definitely worth picking up the habits and reminding yourself what those habits are. So tiny changes, remarkable results, it says, and it delivers on that. You just need to actually take the action. So hopefully you do, and hopefully I could catch you next time. Thanks much. Bye for now.